hope you're going to build a business. Know it.
Hey everybody, welcome to the 2%er Show, the real time, real talk of the journey in business. Guys, today we're going to bring you a much needed training, I guess you could call it, Bobby, right?
Yeah, it's a good training for small businesses.
So like if you're a small business and you're a bootstrapper, by the way, and if you're looking to get your service out there, and mainly this is for a small business that has a service to offer out in the community, out in their town, or local area, this is the type of training we want to give you guys. We're going to talk about social media marketing.
Specifically, Facebook.
Right. And how to use it to generate business with no money. Because obviously there is advertising that you could do through social media. In this case, we're going to use Facebook as the example. We're going to give you also, guys, a case study of one of our past clients who had a small business and has a service to offer out there to the local community, and what we were able to do with basically nothing, no money to invest in when he came to us about marketing.
He's actually not a client anymore, but we'll go through that later. But we'll explain what's happened. It's not good or bad. It's just this is a point that this talk brings up, because there's two ways to market. And if depending on what kind of business you want to have, it's a totally different thing to do. But the first thing I want to start off everything is because our whole talk is going to be based around this exact premise of what the reason social media is out there for. Like, why is there social media and what do people do on social media? And Jay, you say this a lot. The thing that Jay says all the time is social media is used for three things. 1, connecting with people. 2, entertainment, to get entertainment. And 3, to get information. So when you're listening to us, think about it. Why do you go on social media? Like when you're on your phone or your computer, wherever you're doing, and you're just using social media, whatever kind, what are you doing it for? And I think about it all the time. I'm either looking for some kind of information. I want to eat somewhere. What are the ratings? Who's been there before?
Mm-hmm.
What do they say about it? Entertainment. I want to laugh because sometimes the days are rough. And I want to learn it. I want to laugh at something. Either someone posts a video of something they're doing or a mistake, anything to make.
Or your favorite YouTuber, comedian.
Yeah. Comedian to make me laugh for 10 minutes while I'm in the John, kind of idea. Or I want to connect with someone, you haven't, friends you haven't met or people you just met, or you want to network, groups, anything. Those are the main 3 reasons people use social media, and you cannot deviate. You have to learn how to use in this case, Facebook, you hear me? Facebook page or profile in these 3 ways, because if not, it's not going to work. You're not doing it right, and you're not going to be connecting with anyone. You're not going to be giving them the value that they can bring to you to bring you some kind of money to your business.
I just want to add that whiskey shot is probably getting to Bobby there. That's why he's stuttering there a little bit.
Yeah, just so you guys know, I'm not a big drinker at all, literally at all. But every time we do the podcast, what we did was we found some old whiskey lying around, and we take a shot of whiskey just to.
It's good quality stuff, man.
Is it? I
like it.
I would have no clue if it was.
I'm not like a raging alcoholic, but like I do drink whiskey here and there, and it tastes pretty good.
I don't know if it's a good brand or not, or if it stinks.
I don't know. I've never seen it. We're not going to give it promotion here either, but
no, unless they want to pay us, that's fine.
But it's pretty good.
Yeah, and Jay thinks I need it to loosen up.
You just gotta be. He gets on the mic and he gets a little nervous, but meanwhile, you put him on a stage, put him in front of people, or in front of a classroom. He just goes nuts. He has fun. He's like,
I'm better live.
Yeah. So it's kind of like we're trying to create that experience for him here as well, because he doesn't have the dozen people or the hundreds of people in front of him to feed off of. So it's like, here, take a shot and relax.
And then I'm like, let's go on the mic. Let's go. And stutter our way through it. Let's go, baby.
Exactly. But anyway, going back to the topic, one thing I want to let you guys know, in case you don't know this, all right, because I see this mistake happen a lot of times. I see it more with the older generation, obviously, those that grew up with like traditional advertising type of platforms, TV, radio, print, you name it. When they look at social media, in the beginning, by the way, when social media was looked at, they thought the same way. And many people have made that shift over time, but there's still that population out there that doesn't understand it. Sometimes a new entrepreneur or a new startup company or a small business person that wants to bootstrap their way to getting clients looks at it the same way, thinks social media is like TV and radio where you just blast what you do to people and you spam them and you go on and on with what you do, but now you're missing the 3 reasons why people get on social media.
So like a commercial, they're trying to use social media as a commercial.
Right.
Hey, here's a commercial during your show.
Right.
To tell about a product or service.
Yeah.
But look at it that way. I don't want commercials. If I'm watching something, I'll fast forward the commercials. You could DVR. You could do everything you can to. You could pay for a monthly subscription so you don't get commercials. Correct?
Right. And that's
on
why,
TV.
No, that's correct. And that's why TV is like really, having a hard time keeping up with all the other options. People rather go onto a platform where there is no advertising, although that's the way a lot of these platforms will make money, which is a whole other topic, how you like create your advertisement to look like content and not like a commercial, which will be more effective, right? But for this talk, you have to keep in mind that the word social is in there. Social media.
Key.
People want to socialize, and the way they socialize on these platforms, on these tools, is just connecting with other people. They want to be entertained. And they want to look up information, and sometimes that information could just be like, from your favorite guru, or you watch like a couple things with cooking, right?
Yeah, my girl's into cooking, and she got me onto this Bon Appetit, which is a magazine, but they do YouTube videos. And that crap is entertaining. Like, they're funny to watch, and I use it I can learn how to cook, which I'm not that good at, but to watch them is entertaining. I literally laugh at what they're doing, and it's just live. Not a traditional cooking show. They just go and make stuff up, and it's fun. So they're giving me 2 out of 3. They're literally giving me info, and they're entertaining. They are. That's how I'm using it. Like I was saying before, you don't want a commercial on your TV. So why do I want a commercial on my social media? Don't create your business and try to make a commercial and post it on social media and think that's going to work. Because you don't like it when you watch TV or your YouTube or whatever you want to watch. You don't like it, so don't do it to anybody else. And this is what we're going to talk about.
Right. So again, this training is meant for small businesses, not for branding.
Yeah,
right?
not branding whatsoever.
Totally different approach to marketing. All right. This is like if you are a small business, maybe offering services like, doing hair, doing makeup. In the case study we're going to talk about, he was offering hitting lessons for baseball. He was looking to start his own baseball academy, wanted to start just, giving a few lessons here and there. So how would he get the word out on what he does? So the first thing, we did like a little inventory, or we did an audit, I guess you could call it, on what he was doing with social media. He really didn't know anything about it. So we had to basically create it from scratch. He didn't even have like a personal profile on just like the basic platform, Facebook, that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, he had
let alone
nothing.
Instagram, LinkedIn, or anything else. He didn't have anything going.
No, he literally had his expertise.
That's it.
He's a former, college professional baseball player. That's what he had. That's all that he had. And he came to us through referral because we kind of knew someone that knew someone. And he wanted to get his baseball academy. What his goal was is to create a baseball academy.
Right. So in the beginning, he had a big vision, or what he painted to us, that, he wanted to create this baseball academy, a VNU baseball academy, into a big, big thing. We knew that the approach to do that is through branding. That's the only way you're going to create a big business of what you're trying to do, is through brand. Later on, we'll talk about like what really he was looking at. 'Cause here's the danger.
Change.
Here's the danger of it. Like if you're looking to create a brand, this is just maybe the infancy stage, and then you got to go to the next level. All right. And that's what we were trying to do, because we were bringing our expertise. He was bringing his expertise. But, as businessmen too, like we didn't want to just put money down. You know what I mean? Like we also wanted to see how we could just generate it from our expertise. And that's exactly what we did. So the talk again is how you're going to use social media marketing with little to no money. The way you start, and the way we told him, is we need to get you on all the social media platforms. Let's start with the basic one, Facebook. We need to get you on there. He was a little hesitant. He doesn't like to get on, social media. And there's people out there that still don't want to, they still want to hide from the grid as if that's possible. You know what I mean?
In his mindset, he was afraid of having all the knowledge that he has, which is a ton of knowledge, professional knowledge. He thought if he gave that knowledge away using social media somehow, that it would discredit him, or now everyone could do it without him. They wouldn't have a need for him, which is the dead opposite.
It is the dead opposite.
Because the thing, like you say all the time, Jay, is the point of social media is to leverage your personal contacts in this scenario. So remember, we're not talking about branding yourself or creating a brand. We're literally talking about if you're a small business, or you're, one woman show, one man show, and you have a service to give, how can you use social media, how to use it with no money, and help start to build that referral business.
And even generate some business, and even generate some
some
business,
money.
But that's not where you end. So the way you start.
is 6 degrees of separation.
Right.
First, to understand what that is. Like, what is 6 degrees of separation? Now, if you have done any sales anywhere in this world, in any field, I guarantee you they talked about 6 degrees of separation, especially if you're focusing on referrals. Like, if you have a business that's dedicated to getting referrals, 6 degrees of separation is something you definitely have been taught or been told about. Now, if you don't know what that is, it's basically you're 6 people away from knowing that person. For example, I know Jay. He knows that owner of Avino Baseball. That owner of Avino Baseball has played with some Major League Baseball players.
Mm-hmm.
So if I wanted to talk to a Major League Baseball player, I can get to one through 3.
Mm-hmm.
Jay, the owner of Avino Baseball Academy, and then now I'm right there. That's 3 degrees. I'm separated by them.
Right.
That's how it works. You're 6 people away from knowing someone that you want to talk to and know or get to meet.
Or in other words, we're all connected in the world by 6 people away. Somebody knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows, like, the president of Venezuela.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
whoever. Is it a president? Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think for now, maybe dictatorship. I don't know. Anyway,
And the other thing
no
is
politics.
Forget it, I
politics.
could care less.
Yeah, who cares?
The second thing is that the average person knows 100 people by first name.
That's true.
I'm not talking about best friends and they know everything, their shoe size or their underwear size. They know their first name. Just think about it. You look at, if you have a Facebook page or account,
Mm-hmm.
look at all the people you have on your Facebook page.
Right.
You probably got more than 100. You don't talk to half these people, but you know their first name. That's why you connected with them.
Yeah,
You know them somehow.
and for those of you that took that plunge of getting married, just look back at how many people may have been invited to your wedding.
Yeah,
You know
it
what
might
I
not be 100.
You know, I mean, it ranges, but like for most people that want to have that wedding, like it's like 100 to 300 people that showed up to that thing,
And
So
only 10 of them care to be at that wedding. that's
everybody else is there for the drinks.
Exactly. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to say, how can a small business person with a service use that?
There's that whiskey again.
Yeah. Got my thumb numb. Use Facebook in this scenario, that social media platform, to start to get their name out there. Use personal contacts to generate some awareness of who they are and what they do. This will not be how to sell someone on Facebook. That's the number one thing that most people that we've seen, they automatically do. They try to sell upfront their friends and family, everyone in that they have on that Facebook list
Mm-hmm.
upfront with that service.
Right.
No, kiss of death.
Or they do like cold, canvassing, because like, for example, we just had an example of that today before we recorded this, before we even set up and we were brainstorming everything we were going to talk about. We had a gentleman actually roll up to Bobby's house here, ringing the doorbell. And he was a little surprised because it's like, there's nobody coming in here today. Like, who's this, right?
I mean, who the hell? Because, on my camera, you lucky I answered the door. I could see who's outside. Nowadays, I look at the camera first before I open this door.
Mm-hmm.
But I opened the door anyway, because look, I could take him. Right? A little older guy. But he was canvassing. He looked and said he has like a paving company. He said he's doing work in the area. I know you're not doing the work in the area. My neighborhood, I know who's doing the work. I could see who's doing the work, which means, because I've used that in sales tactic before, that means that you're canvassing this area and you're trying to see people who's, I know my neighbor down the street, they may look like they want to do their driveway over again because it's getting older.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, mine's getting older too. So I guess he noticed that and he said, here, in case you have someone in the neighborhood or we're going to be working in the neighborhood, here's my card. Here's my little pamphlet he gave me about what he does. Straight cold. He's driving around, he's canvassing and seeing, hey, it's a numbers game.
Right.
Look, I give it up to him. That's hustle. I love it. I understand what he's doing.
Yeah.
I understand what he's doing. I have no problem with him doing it. Actually, you know what? Good for you, sir. But now I look at it with a critical eye, and I'm like, he has to be doing something else. He needs to be doing something else because this can't sustain him. It's not going to work. You're spending time and gas money to do this. There is some kind of money you're spending on this. Sure. I wonder if he's doing what we're going to be talking about, what we're talking about now. Is he doing that? Is he using Facebook? I hope he has a Facebook page, something, at least in this scenario. Does he have a website? Which he does. But how is he? I wonder how he's using Facebook. I did a search when he left, and I searched the name of the paving company, and I didn't see him come up. I didn't see a Facebook page come up. And you know how many I saw? Instantly, 30 pages of paving companies, and he's not up there. He's not my first list, and he's, by the look of it, he's maybe in this area. So I know that he's missing out on something, because I see no Facebook presence whatsoever. The example we're going to stick with, that was just came up today, but the baseball, like our former client, we started off with him, and Jay's going to tell you about how it came about and what we did with Facebook and how it turned and went left because it deviated from what this is.
So the first thing that when we spoke to Johnny, the owner of the baseball academy, I told him, all right, so you're not on social media. That's the first thing we're gonna do is create these, and then we started doing that. And I told him the reason why is because our goal is to not sell the people you know. I hope you're 100% clear on that. And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, because not everybody there wants your service, but they know 100 people, right? The average person knows about 100 people by first name.
Mm-hmm.
So I explained that to him and said, listen, my goal is to connect you with these people on social media. You see these people throughout your life, right? You go to church, you go to work, you go to, your family events and all this stuff. Your job when you go to all these places is to tell them that you have this business, and that's it. You don't tell them how much you charge or this. You don't sell anything. You just say, oh, by the way, I started a baseball academy. I played, professional ball back in the day. I think I'm going to start up these hitting lessons and build it to an academy. And you know what he got? He got a nice couple congratulations. That's awesome. Even his sister from Dominican Republic was congratulating him, who hasn't seen, she hasn't seen him in 10 years. But through the social media, eventually she saw that and was congratulating him. So he got a lot of congratulations. The goal, and this is what happened with them, is they became an extension of him.
Mm-hmm.
And then what we did on our end with Bobby is we followed up with these people by connecting them to now his Facebook business page.
Which we help him create.
Personal page, I said, put everything there, your profile page, put everything there of your family. Don't talk about business. Connect with other people, see how they're doing.
Because personal profile is for connecting.
That's it.
It's for, he used it before he even met us. He was connecting with friends and family. That's all he used it for.
Mm-hmm.
So he continue doing that with his personal page, right?
Yeah. Well, he was very limited on what he did. He did have a WhatsApp or whatever. That's another that they do internationally. But in his case, he didn't even have a Facebook. So I told him, you need to then now connect with people through this platform. And the reason why is because I'm going to create a business page outside of you. I want you to connect with them. Don't talk about business. If they ask you how you've been, now you can say everything is great, da-da-da. By the way, I did start a baseball academy as a nonchalant thing. Do not sell them.
Done. That's all you need to say.
Do not sell them.
You're being social.
That's what Facebook is. It's like a social party. Every platform is different. Instagram, almost the same thing, just a little bit more visual. Not a lot of text in there, but more visual, like pictures and videos and things like that. LinkedIn has its own different demographics. It's more, business people. So every platform has its own different things. If you're on Facebook, you're leveraging your personal context to see who they know. That's all you're trying to do.
Correct.
You want to know who are the 100 people that they know that you don't. Because out of that, guess what? You want to know who they know. And you just keep playing that and keep doing that. And next thing you know, you have a lot of people that when baseball comes up to their mind or hitting lessons come up, they think of you. So what I told them to do is, all right, first thing is you connect with these people and you tell them while you're at church, by the way, I started a baseball academy, and then when baseball season comes around, you're in their mind. What I'm going to do is now since you connected with them also on Facebook, what I'm going to do is send them the baseball academy page for them to follow it. Now it's not like a cold type of solicitation, like this guy that came today with that flyer, with this pavement thing, right? He doesn't know you. You don't know him.
No idea.
Right? But if you would have done it maybe through a family member, probably different story, or through somebody that you know.
Yeah, so I would follow the page if I go to church with you and he did mention in my head, he has a baseball, and then a week later I see an invite to a page of baseball. Of course, because I'm already on your social media. I'm already friends with you, or I'm a friend on social media, your Facebook profile, and you're giving me the page. Right there, I would accept as long as you didn't try to sell me with that page.
Right.
That's what we're saying. Don't do that. I want to point out that in the beginning, when we sat down with him and we talked about what are your goals as a business, it's very strategic. His goal was to create a baseball academy. Now, this academy was to create something big, not to be a hitting lesson or pitching or baseball. That was not what his talk was. We want to make sure if we want to take you as a client, what are you trying to do? His was talking about having an academy, right? That academy being able to go to Dominican Republic and teach kids baseball and help them get to America to get drafted.
Right.
That's one thing. The second thing was creating a place where different coaches in baseball that used to play college or professional, that they can come to this academy and they could be coaches within this brand name.
Right.
We would supply everything else and they could be coaches in their specific things that they used to do, outfielding, pitching, catching, whatever it is.
Sure.
And they would come to Avino Academy and be a part of that, correct?
Right.
It was not meant to be, well, I'm going to be this coach and I want to help students and that's all I want to do, just me by myself.
Right.
Correct?
Just do hitting lessons. Right.
All right, good.